step up and get it. Lace up, face up, I'm here to win it. It's for my city, and the team coming with me. Headed for the championship, even if the road is long. Legends pave the way for us, and nothing in this world can take it from us. Don't underestimate our generation when you see us coming for ya. And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way.
Detroit basketball.
Just take this moment of silence. It's Detroit versus everybody. Time and time again, you can't rely on the officials or the NBA to do what they're supposed to do when it comes to our Pistons.
All right. What's going on, everybody? Sorry, I just needed a second. Welcome back to the King and Deuce show. As you guys can see, we're somber for a reason. We have a lot to get to tonight. But before we go any further, we want to shout out you guys for being here. You guys are deep in the chat. And we also want to shout out a guest we have on with us tonight. We've been trying to get him on for a while. We've been talking back and forth for a while. Mr. Tim Hardaway, you guys know him as Korea Piston fan on Twitter, Instagram, everywhere else that has social media. You have seen him there because he's one of the biggest Pistons fans you will find. So we had to have him on and just give him a chance to kind of talk hoops with us. We've been talking offline, but this, unfortunately, we're not going to talk about it in the win today, but we're definitely going to be very transparent about our emotions because we always are. So, Tom, welcome to the channel, bro. It's good to have you on the show, man.
Thank you for having me, King and Deuce. What up, though, Pistons family?
Hey,
Tom here.
Absolutely, man. So let's get to it, man. What were your thoughts tonight on this game? Tom, the Pistons lost 94-93 in a heartbreaker at home in a game that they easily could have, well, not easily, but they definitely could have put away. So what were your overall thoughts, your initial thoughts to this game, Tom? Talk to me.
The first half was really rough, but the end of the first half, we really caught up. We got the momentum. So like everybody was like kind of being negative, and I still said that we still got this. I was trying to be really positive, like that we can do this. And the third quarter was magical. That was probably one of the best quarters of Pistons basketball that I had watched this season. It was an amazing watch. It gave me so much adrenaline. I was so happy. But that fourth quarter was really rough. Anthony Towns and Brunson were hitting really tough shots. And yeah, that last non-call. It's 2 games in a row that the refs didn't give us the call. I think this one was really worse than the Brunson one because the Brunson over the backcourt violation in real time, it did not really seem like a backcourt violation, to be honest. But this Tim Hardaway Jr. 3, in my opinion, was a legit, like, it was an obvious foul. So I was shouting here. I was really pissed. Man, I was really sad.
We feel you.
Yeah.
We feel you, man. We definitely feel you, bro. We all feel your pain. King, initial thoughts, bro. What you got for me, man?
Let me get this out without trying to crash out, man. So the foul call, obvious foul. If it was Brunson in the corner shooting that shot, it would have been a foul. Every ref in the whistle, refs at other games would have blew the whistle if it was Brunson, you know, if it's SGA or anybody else. You can't play games and expect the officials to help you win it. And the Pistons did a horrible job with the basketball in the first half. And, you know, we had that inspiring third quarter. But the mistakes in the beginning of the game, they drag, man. They drag towards the end of the game. Cat cannot get those opportunities at the 3-point line. The only thing that you should be giving him is, I don't care if he drives the lane and get a free dunk. You cannot allow him to shoot a 3 at the 3-point line. You know what he did to you last game. You know what he did. You have to shut that down. I mean, at any cost. I don't care. Somebody else has to beat me besides Cat. So a couple of mistakes made there, man. A couple of factors on why you really lost this game. We're not just going to sit here and blame it on the officials or a challenge call or whatever it is. A whole lot of factors played a part in why you couldn't take care of business in this game.
48 minutes. Yeah. We always talk about 4 quarters. To me, I agree with both of you guys' points. So it was quite a few things that I had notated with regard to this game. Among them, the things that you guys mentioned. But to me, guys, especially early in this game, it looked like a team. The Pistons looked like a team with many players playing in their first playoff series, playing against a team that have played a lot of basketball together. Just the way the Knicks came out tonight, they were greedy. They were trying to get both of these games. They weren't content trying to just get one and split and go back 2-2, right? And they jumped on the Pistons early. The sense of urgency was higher for the Knicks in this game. It seems to me the Pistons got a little bit complacent because they had home court, even though they were down 2-1. I wanted to see a little bit more sense of urgency from them early. They played hard, but the Knicks just seemed to want it a little bit more. And, and it seemed like they kind of got dazed. They kind of got dazed a little bit. The Knicks threw the first punch, and the Pistons kind of got dazed, and they really were put on their heels and really weren't responding and playing Pistons basketball the way we're used to seeing them play. And we saw it in many different areas. We obviously, I gotta say this too. I gotta get this out of the way. The Pistons missed Isaiah Stewart tonight.
Mm-hmm.
Pistons greatly
100%.
missed Isaiah Stewart. All the offensive rebounds we saw. It's tough when you play great defense for 24 seconds. Then they get their offensive rebound. Now you got to play for another 14 seconds. They get another one, another 14 seconds, and it culminates with a 3-ball. That hurts. That's demoralizing for your defense because you exerted a minute's worth time of defense and still gave up 3 points. So those kind of things really hurt. With Stu there, that doesn't happen. That doesn't happen at that rate. They may still get some, but not the way they got him tonight. So to me, that was one of the biggest things is just him not being available. His rebounding, his defense, just his mindset and physicality, right, in this game were really, really missed, especially in that first half.
I want to say this, man. Not only Stu, but Ivy. And I'm gonna be bold enough to say this: if you have Stu and Ivy in this series, there's a chance you probably even sweep the Knicks, man. Simple and plain, man. Those are not your typical guys missing.
Right.
Those are 2 powerhouses for your team.
Yeah.
That gives your team a whole different dynamic, not only defensively but offensively.
Right.
You can't do what you can, do to Cade. We talked about this already. Mm-hmm. So Cade and Ivy and Stu, big time missing. But what the heck? I wanted Ivy to get this experience. I wanted, Stu is going to be Stu regardless. But I wanted them to get this experience in the playoffs because that's what this year is. It's the experience here in the playoffs. It's not where we was going to make the serious noise in the playoffs. We would end up going against the Celtics next, and we all know how that would have turned out. So this playoff series is the learning experience for these guys to get their first taste of what it takes to win in the playoffs, how together you have to be on the court. Off the court, fine, but on the court, you have to be in sync. You have to be together. Yep. Y'all have to play as one on the court in order to win in the playoffs.
Right. No, I agree. And that's why just getting to the playoffs was important for this team. Just getting the experience. We always talk about that. Dominique Davis, showing love as always. What's going on, brother? Let's see what you have to say. Dominique says, Cat hit some crazy shots. Brunson got hot. But at the end of the day, our star got an open midi and didn't make it. Also, Schroder not just taking that layup at the end of the third hurt. Yeah, so let's talk about both of those things. And we'll get to the individuals, right? And then, Tom, we want to hear from you, too. With Cade, you're right. He didn't make that shot. But I can't linger on that. We got to remember, guys, this is why I call this series going 7. Because experience is so important. It has to be factored in. So many moments happen in the playoffs that you can't simulate in practice, that your vets can't simulate by telling you about it. You got to go through it. And this is a lot of first-timer things for these young guys. So, yeah, he missed a shot. It was a shot he probably makes 7 or 8 times out of 10 if you give it to him again, but this is a different experience. So I don't want to get on him too much about that because it's a good shot that a lot of good players have missed over the years, but we also know stars hit those shots too. So this is his first taste of what it's like to be in that situation. He could have made it. You're right. 100%. I'm with you. He could have made it. It was a good shot. But it wasn't a bad miss. He just missed it. It wasn't way offline. It wasn't like the nerves played a factor into the shot. It just didn't go in. So I'm with you. I think if he gets that chance next time, that's something that he will take advantage of. What do you guys thoughts on that? And also Schroder, if you want to hit that as well.
Go ahead, Tom.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I completely agree with you there, and I believe that if Cade gets that shot next game, like he's gonna make it. But I think we didn't lose this game in just the Tim Hardaway. Obviously, that was a foul, and Cade missing the jump shot. But I think we lost it in the first half. We really played really bad in the first half. We seemed rattled. We seemed like a very young team, which we are. So I think if we played well in the first half, I think we would have won comfortably. Like this game,
Right.
it still hurts me just thinking about the game. I just I don't know.
I know,
But
brother.
I wanna say this. The series isn't over. I think we can still win this. The good thing about this Pistons team, since the regular season, we could see the improvement in every single game. That since we're young, every single game we got better. That's why we had a better record after the All-Star break and all that stuff. So I think even in these playoffs, every single game, like we're improving, we can see the improvements. We do have a lot of young mistakes, but I think we can improve to win one game at a time. Take one. We know we can take one in their home court, bring it back to LCA. Just take one game at a time. I think Pistons can still win in 7. I still believe in this team.
I told you guys, man. Tom rides for this team, man. Like he like unapologetically goes hard for this team, and I love it. Go ahead, King.
Now, the interesting part, game 5.
Okay.
Does Isaiah Stewart play in that game?
I think
does that change the sight for you? Is that something significant enough? Because we obviously prove we can win it in New York. If Stu plays, does that change your idea of this series, or is the inevitable we're down 3-1 is just flat out over?
I'm gonna give you my thought. So down 3-1. I think okay, so we won the long game we won was actually without Stu. It was game 2.
Right.
That was when I believe, that's when Cat had 10 points and 6 rebounds. Didn't have a great game. We know we didn't win that game because Stu was missing, right? But that shows us that we can win without him.
Yeah.
We can. We showed in the second half when we play our style of basketball what we can do. You just mentioned it, Tom. That was one of the best quarters we've seen in a long time. So if I'm the Pistons, because I don't want to make it seem like the only reason we lost was because of Stu, because that's not the case either. You know what I mean? So I don't want to make it seem like we're going to win the next 3 games if we got Stu. So what I would do, I would rest him one more game, go into New York, and beat them without Stu. They showed they can win without him. This is a test for the Pistons right now. They've already done it. So backs against the wall, I think the sense of urgency will be really high. Season on the line, they don't want the season to end. After what they've done all year, they don't want this to end right now. They want to push this as far as possible. Go get that game. Then come back home, give Stu 2 more days of rest. Now you bring it back home. Now you really push all your chips into the middle of the table. Get game 6. Now you're going game 7. Now the pressure's all on them.
Yeah.
That's how I'm going from a chess standpoint, just a step-by-step standpoint. Go ahead. Right.
We got a couple of super chats, man. Cade is a very great player, but the superstar title is given way too prematurely. I kind of agree with it, but and I mean the standards that you have to be a superstar, you have to be MVP or Finals MVP. I don't think you have to be that, but premature superstar, yes, that's obvious right now because Brunson showed you why currently at this point in his career, he's more of a star right now, a superstar, than where Cade is currently. Cade is learning. This is his first playoff series. Brunson is showing you why. You know what I'm saying? To come out from the locker room and get retaped and to come and get that type of performance. These are the performances that superstars make. They kill you at the end of the game. That's what Cat did to you.
Yeah.
Those are superstars. So he's definitely on a trajectory to get there. And it's no knocking to anything they did. We talking about a triple double type of night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But superstars know when to take control of a game, and they know when the game is getting out of hand, how to switch things and take control of the game. And that's what I wanted to see tonight, especially in that first half. I wanted him to say, okay, well, damn it, it's time for me to take over this game. This pick and roll ain't working. I need to figure out something, So we didn't see it until the third quarter.
And that's why I think, once again, the experience factor. It's hard to know what to do in situations you haven't been in before. I'm not taking all of the blame off, because they all played a part in this game. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to absolve him of everything, but I just think experience is really important. You mentioned Brunson being in the playoffs before, having these experiences before, having a better team around him to enable him to get these experiences in the playoffs, right? We all know how good of a player Cade is, but his team hasn't been good enough to get to the playoffs.
Right.
So this is the first time he's a rookie in the playoffs.
Right.
So that's why this is important. That's why these experiences are so important. So sure, you can say that. Had Cade had a better supporting cast the last 3-4 years and had these experiences, maybe he would be a superstar.
Yeah.
Having had the opportunity. But because he hasn't, I can understand that. But it doesn't take away anything from him. It's just he hasn't had a chance to catch up.
Nor do you need a superstar to always win. Right. Because, like I said, Pistons take care of the basketball tonight. And it had nothing to do with Cade not being a superstar. He had a super performance tonight.
Yes, he did.
We just needed to take care of the basketball. And we weren't doing that as a team, and we left a lot of points on the board, a lot of wide open shots that we missed. Mm-hmm. Which leads me to, this topic. And first, I wanted to give a shout out to Keith Petway, man. You always showing support. Thanks for the donation. If any team can fumble a 3-1 lead, it's the Knicks. The Knicks have somewhat of a bad juju on them. You know what I'm saying? So it's not impossible. But I want to say this starting lineup, I am on this train to it's going to be tough because it's your guy. Ausar can't start, bro. He cannot start.
Okay. So
Schroder has to start. Ausar has to sit.
Okay. Keith Lee, as always, appreciate you, bro. When were you born? Because like a lot of the things you're mentioning are around the time frame when I was really King was really like getting into basketball at a crazy level. So I'm just curious, but I agree with that. He says Cat getting bodied by Tobias was like, wow. Imagine if we had Naz Reid. Thank you, bro. Yes, that's why I want to add him to this team. I was talking to King about it before. Just his size, and we're going to get to that later. But hold that thought, Keith. We're going to get to that for sure. But yeah, one more super chat. Wanted to Daquan, appreciate you, bro. Give us a comment. Appreciate the super chat, but give us a comment. Let's talk about it. So go ahead, King. Just wanted to point those out real quick. Go ahead.
No, just he's absolutely right. Cat did give, Tobias everything that he didn't want today. Yeah. But there was a short period in the third quarter where Tobias kind of realized, hey, maybe I should go at Tobias. We didn't see that in the fourth, and that was kind of disappointing. We talking about a high amount of fouls. You have to go at Cat the same way he goes at you. Mm-hmm. Cat is going to foul you. That is what he is. But when you just let him roam around, when you have the ball in your hand, you're making the things a lot easier for him. The same thing with Brunson. Whoever is in front of Brunson needed the basketball. We needed to go at him, especially coming out of the locker room with an ankle injury. We should have been attacking Brunson religiously, but we did not for some reason. We continue to play this sad pick and roll that we have, and it makes it easy for them to throw two guys at Cade. We got to switch it up as a coaching staff. Something got to change.
Well, let me tell you this, and then Tom, I'm going to get your take. Because you mentioned Ausar, and you mentioned going at Jalen Brunson and going at Cat. Both of those guys have 4 fouls early in this game. Mm-hmm. And it looked like the Pistons were trying to go at Brunson, and a couple times it was Ausar, and that was kind of the problem. Because Asar's offense wasn't enabling him to be able to put pressure on Brunson to foul. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't able to get him in foul trouble or in further foul trouble because he's not really a good offensive player. You can guard him consistently without fouling him. You know what I mean? So I think that was part of the problem. Like you mentioned with Ausar, it's tough because if you're going to be that limited offensively, you have to be a dog. You got to be shutting Jalen Brunson down pretty much to offset the lack of offense. And unfortunately, he's not able to do that. Nobody really is with Brunson. He's a tough cover, especially when he's got the officials as a teammate. So with Ausar not being able to give us the level of defense on a Brunson that we could use, it makes it hard to play him on offense because he's not really giving you enough impact on either end. We always talk about impact, right? So, yeah, it's tough. It's tough with Ausar. So you were saying to play potentially Schroder. So, Tom, what are your thoughts on what you saw from Ausar tonight? Anything stand out to you?
Yeah, I recall the play that you mentioned. Like Cade tried to give the ball to Ausar in a switch with Brunson in the paint. He did a few post-up dribbles and just airballed. I think
Yeah.
he does need to improve offensively, but I think when Brunson returned in the fourth quarter after the ankle injury, where he scored like 6 straight points, that was a
Yeah.
lineup which we had Ausar after the lineup. We had Malik, I think,
Yep.
THJ, Cade. So we had THJ or Cade guarding Brunson, and it didn't work out. So he scored a lot of points in that frame. So I
Yeah.
think in that part of the game where Brunson's the primary offensive like initiator and he's going off, I think in those moments we did need Ausar in those moments because
I agree.
he really did a good job on this on Brunson. Brunson was not really able to score much the first half. He was trying to get others involved, but when he did go ISO on Ausar did a really good job on him tonight. He didn't really
He did
foul
late.
him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so in that stretch in the fourth quarter, I believe we would have been better off if we had Ausar, but yeah, it's just
It's
I
hard.
don't know. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's hard.
Go ahead, King.
So with Ausar, the situation with Ausar, he did pretty good a couple of possessions. Tonight, to me, Schroder was more effective guarding Brunson. And that's why I would rather start Schroder.
Okay.
And whenever Brunson sits, Schroder sits.
Okay.
Whenever he comes in, Schroder gets up. Because not only is Schroder, here's the difference. We're playing 4-on-5 when it comes to the offensive side of the ball. Ausar is 0 on offense.
Yeah.
0. It's 4 against 5. He can't do a thing. He can't catch the ball. He can't pass the ball. It's too many head mistakes. This is the playoffs we're talking about. The playoffs. So Schroder needs to be the one that you have on Brunson. Why? Because Schroder goes at Brunson on the opposite side of the ball.
Right.
He also scores against Brunson. So you need to, you can't just defend Brunson and then give him nothing on the offensive side.
Right.
And I love Cade, but Cade, man, his feet are slow on defense in these playoffs for some reason because they keep getting around him. And I don't know what that's about. He got a few blocks, especially in the open court. Fine. That's LeBron-esque to me. LeBron, he'll get to the rim, he'll block some shots off a fast break. But when it comes to just sitting down on defense and moving your feet, Schroder is the best on-ball defender you have on your team besides Ron Holland right now.
I'm not mad at that. Man. Yes, it's tough for Cade, bro, because he's asked to do so much offensively. It's hard. Like two-way players are hard to come by.
Everybody
hard
out
to
there,
come by, man.
I'll say this: everybody out there is playing two-way because Schroder has the ball in his hand. He plays two ways. Cade has the ball and he runs a pick and roll and he ends up passing the ball. It's different if he's attacking the rim every single time.
Here's the thing, bro.
Case.
I hear you, but check this out. Cade played 42 minutes, bro. Schroder played 27.
True. This is true.
He's not nearly as gassed, is what I'm saying. That's a 15-minute gap, bro.
Well, that's a coaching issue. That's what I'm saying. Right. If Schroder starts with Cade, then we're talking a minute different, but he's not starting. Right. So
I just don't know if you see that same level of defense though from Schroder if he's playing that. You know what I'm saying? Because you're more fresh when you're only playing 27 minutes, bro. I'm just saying.
But like I said, on defense, Cade is usually checking somebody at the 3-point line. He's not expounding that much energy on the defense.
Okay.
Schroeder is the one that got Brunson in front of him, the most irky jerky player on the court.
Right, that's true.
So, like I said, I mean, he's playing more minutes, true. But at the same time, you got to be a better defender at the end of the day. You just have to.
Let me ask you a question. And then we talked about this before, and this is once again why the Jaden Ivey effect is so important. What you're suggesting, I think, is probably best. I just worry about what happens when you go to your bench because those two guys are your only two quintessential point guards who can set the table and get their own. So when you sit, are you staggering? What are you doing in that situation?
You don't have to. Why? Because we're talking Thibodeau here. Thibodeau's bench. There is no bench. There's one or two guys that get in the game. Brunson and Cat are literally virtually in the game the entire game almost, except for when Cat is in foul trouble. Even when Mitchell comes in the game, Cat's still in the game at times. Yeah. Their bench is literally like 2 or 3 players.
Okay,
we can withstand that. You got Beasley coming off the bench. You know what I'm saying? Our bench has been pounding their bench in numbers this entire series.
Yeah.
bro, you got to put Schroder in the game. I'm sorry. Ausar got to go sit down. He got to go sit down because he's killing us offensively.
Yeah.
And not only is he not able to score, he's turning the ball over constantly.
Yeah.
Constantly.
Especially late in the game. He just doesn't seem comfortable to me. Like,
But
it seems like he's overthinking. Like, he's thinking too much and he's not comfortable in his role and what he's supposed to be doing. You see guys like THJ, guys like Tobias, they know exactly who they are and they play the exact same way every game. Bees, exact same. Whether they're hitting shots or not, they play the exact same way. It doesn't seem like Ausar really knows who he is yet, or at least needs to be for this team. And that's why he's doing too much at times and not doing enough at other times. It's just kind of like not consistent. So I think that's part of it too. He's just not comfortable, bro. But I do agree with you though. He's hurting the team right now. He's like, especially in late game situations. In the playoffs, possessions are everything. Possessions, man. You're not getting shots on goal. It's gonna hurt you.
I'm gonna let Tom go because I'm the harsh guy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He ride with his Pistons no matter what. I'm the serious guy, the coach guy. So you go ahead, Tom.
What are your thoughts on that, Tom?
Yeah, I do agree with some of the like a lot of the points that King made. Like Ausar did hurt us in the offensive end, especially like that fourth quarter where Cade wrapped around a very good pass to Ausar and he fumbled the pass to the corner, I believe.
Yeah.
So like, but I think he's our best ceiling raiser, and with him on the defensive end, I do believe that we need Ausar on the court. But I do agree with your Schroder points. He really did a good job on Brunson, where Brunson kind of, did you see the replay where Brunson was like kind of hooking his leg? He got injured. Yeah, that was yeah. So
Cringe.
Schroder was really good today. I think he could have played more minutes, but I don't know. With Ausar, I'm not ready to give up on him yet in this series. I believe we need him to play better to win this series. Like, if we just go away from him, I think that really lowers our ceiling as a team. So, yeah. And I saw this tweet that Josh Hart just admitted to making contact with the final play.
Wow,
he,
really?
Yeah, NBA Central tweeted it, but he was like, "Did I make contact with him? Yes, I did, but was it illegal? I'm not sure. We'll see the last 2-minute report." He was like,
Wow, that means no.
yeah, it's if you see the replay, there's obvious like any other situations. Like I saw Bobby
That's
Marks tweet that the official and the baseline was not able to see the foul because his view was obstructed by Josh Hart's body. But I was like, okay, so what
Yeah.
up? The other two referees are blind or something? Like, so,
Right,
so, yeah,
exactly. Like, how did they miss? Yeah.
it's really
Insane.
frustrating. Yeah.
Keith Lee says Ausar and Amin are both offensive liabilities for both Detroit and Houston. The Twins don't score. I think he meant to say the Twins don't score enough. Yeah, it's tough. It's hard, man. You know, you would just hope that you would be able to. Like, I think Ausar can. I just think he's not being utilized in a way, at least in the playoffs right now, that puts him in the best position. Him with the ball in his hands, I don't want him making decisions on ball, having to put the ball on the floor, right? I'd rather him be off ball movement, you know, finding ways to get in the dunker spot, or when JD catches the ball out of the double team and pick and roll, dart into the hoop. Those ways, that's what I want to see him do offensively, not with the ball in his hands in late game situations, or him trying to go at Mikal Bridges one-on-one in the paint. You know, that's just not gonna work for him. It's just not. He's already not a good offensive player, so going against a solid defender like that is not gonna be good for him. So we'll see what happens next game. But King, your points, bro, are fair. It was tough. It was tough, man. But you know, like in Tom, you mentioned it, bro. This game to me was lost in the first half. Even though the Pistons stormed back, even though they gave the lead away again in the fourth quarter, up 8-10 points again. You know, I think this game is well beyond reach in the second half had they played Pistons basketball in the first half. And we talked about it. They just kept turning the ball over. I actually tweeted that the Knicks were creating turnovers looking like the Pistons. And King actually said, nah, the Pistons are giving the ball away. And you're right. They were giving. I went back and they were giving it away in the first half. Just unforced turnovers, just bobbling the ball, bad passes. They just didn't play Pistons basketball. They had 0 3-pointers made in the first quarter and 5 turnovers. You know, so the Knicks were doing what the Pistons like to do: turnovers, transition threes, turnovers, transition dunks. That's what the Knicks were doing because the Pistons were giving them and gifting them the basketball.
Right.
So had that not happened in the first half, like Tom mentioned, it's a completely different ball game. Thoughts on that, guys?
Yeah. No, go ahead, Tom.
Yeah, because I think in the end of the first quarter, like I think that there was a point the Pistons had more turnovers than field goals. So when the announcers just mentioned that, that was kind of crazy. Like we were playing bad, but we were playing really bad. Like if you're
Mhm.
not hitting threes and you're just turning the ball over, that's not a recipe for success in today's league.
Yeah, right.
And yeah, it was really a tough watch. And everyone like outside the Pistons community, when they were commenting about this game, they were really surprised the Pistons were only down by like around 7 points at the half. It seemed like a game that we were supposed to be down by like 20.
Mhm.
So that we were really fortunate that that the lead wasn't really big, but we really need to clean this up. We cannot have bad starts and climb back in the playoffs,
Yeah.
like especially from game 5 to game 6 and hopefully game 7, and hopefully in the second round, whatever.
Yeah.
We really need to clean this up. We cannot have like dig holes and expect the other team to suffer in the second half and all that stuff. Like
Right.
we need to be better. Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. You can't expect to be able to just turn it on in the
Right.
playoffs because normally experienced playoff teams already have it on. So
Yeah.
if you're just turning it on, you're just pretty much just making sure the gap doesn't get bigger.
Yeah.
But you're not really being able to cut into it because they're already there. And that's how this game started. The Knicks were ready. They were ready. I gotta give them credit. I gotta call it like it is. They were ready, man. They came ready to play this game. Guys hit shots. We saw JD playing really good defense on Cat at times in this game. Really good defense, moving his feet, contesting without fouling. Cat just made shots. We saw Brunson. The foul baiting really wasn't a thing tonight. He just made shots.
Yeah, right.
Just make shots.
Right.
He just made shots, man. So like,
He had two
won
free
the-
throws, I believe. Two.
yeah, like
Yeah,
two, right,
yeah.
right.
Yeah, they
So-
let him play tonight.
They let him play.
Yeah.
I liked it, but
Mhm.
the Knicks responded, man. Like, that's Brunson won Clutch Player of the Year, I believe.
Yeah, he did.
He's a good fourth quarter player. Like he makes whether the foul baiting or whatever he gets it done in the fourth quarter. And tonight he really wasn't. I respect it because I've been saying he doesn't have to do that. He's a good player. He doesn't have to do that. So tonight he really didn't do it, or at least the refs didn't call it. But he was still able to make shots. So I'm just giving them fair credit, right? I still think, like Tom said, the Pistons have a shot, but I think it's going to be really hard now. It's going to be really hard now. If they can get the next game, I think it's anybody's series because I think game 6 coming back here, if we can get Stu back, is a dub. And then game 7, you never know what happens in game 7. It's one game series. So one game at a time.
So, I kind of want to change the mode a little bit because this is a unique opportunity having you on here, Tom. There's a lot of faces on here that may not know where you became a Pistons fan and everything else because it's YouTube. You're on Twitter. You know what I'm saying? So, tell us how you became a Pistons fan first and foremost.
Okay, so when I was young, I went to my friend's place and he was like, I didn't watch the NBA back then, but he was like, let's play NBA Live, I believe it was. And he was like, he was gonna play the Lakers, and I asked him, so recommend a team to me. And that was 04. And he was like, I think that was 04 or 05. 04. And NBA Live 05, but the year was 04, I believe.
Okay.
Anyways, so I got recommended the Pistons, so I started liking them since then. But they were my favorite team in the East, and my favorite team in the West became the Houston Rockets because my favorite player of all time was Tracy McGrady. So, and
Great choice.
if you put the two dots together, in 2010, Tracy McGrady signed with the Pistons on a 1-year deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pistons T-Mac made my fandom go crazy. So yeah, since then my fandom didn't turn back. I didn't look back since then. I was like, all right, this is my team. I'm rooting for this team forever. So I fell in love with the Pistons since back then. Austin Day, started Villanueva, playing all those lineups. It was crazy. Yeah. So I love. Yeah. So that's how I became a Pistons fan.
That's super
cool. Did you? So real quick. So is your all-time T-Mac moment what was it?
13
points in 34 seconds?
Of course.
Yeah.
No,
It was crazy to watch that live. It was crazy to watch that live, man. It didn't seem real.
Yeah, I watched that like hundreds of times. It's crazy.
Yeah.
So back to, referring back to this game, it's like, like I say, you came in at a very unique time for the Detroit Pistons. Watching this game, and this is to, whoever in the comments too, if you're a younger person. You've seen them have the opportunity to play today without whistles blowing everywhere. That's what a taste. That's a taste of what it was like back in 2004 when they won. Back in those 90s, it was great basketball. That's what it looked like. That's why we're so hard on this era,
Right.
because it's like, just let them play, you know? So that was a great little stretch of basketball. I really enjoyed that. They kept bringing it up on TV, the commentators, but yeah, that is real basketball to us. It felt good.
Back when these guys used to play.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
You can touch people, you know.
Yeah, it was good. It was good to see them in the building, man.
Yeah,
You know,
it was crazy.
Chris
It was
Webber was
crazy,
there,
yes.
Jalen Rose,
everybody. Dan Campbell was
Dan
there.
Campbell,
Some
Jared
old
Goff was
Lions,
there.
Nate Burleson. It was everybody was there.
Oh, Nate was there too. I didn't even see
Yeah,
that. Okay.
even
Jared
J Mo.
Goff.
Yeah,
Goff was
Jared
there
Goff and
too.
J Mo, they were there. It was dope, man. And you know, the Tigers, they playing right now. They just got done playing, but they're usually there.
I'm with Tom. Why is it like 40 minutes apart between the games? Like the overlap. Like, let's give us some time. Give us a little bit of a break. Let us recover. Man. But yeah, it was nice to see them there. It's just so unfortunate, man. Like Pistons had a chance to break that streak of last time they won a home game. You know, that was 2008, winning a home playoff game. So, but at least they broke the streak of winning a game, right? So at least baby steps, right? But yeah, tough game, man. Tough game. So look, Tom, we wanted to say thanks for coming on, bro. You know, first time on the channel. We've been talking for a while, but got a chance to meet everybody here. They get a chance to meet you. So how can everybody find you? Is there any other way that we can reach you other than what you've mentioned with your Twitter and your Instagram or anything else you're doing? You want to throw in there?
No. It's all just, I'm just on IG and Twitter, just being a fan. I'm not like a creator or anything. Like I'm just a big fan. So let's all stay positive, and thank you for having me up here. What up, though?
Absolutely.
Thank you, guys.
Absolutely, man. Great having you here, bro.
All right, thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, man. Tom Hart, everybody. So yeah, man, let's get into this game, bro. Let's get into the individuals, man, because there's a few guys I wanted to get to with regard to this game. We talked about pretty much the overview of what happened and how we got to this 1-point loss, which was crazy, man. This was such a back and forth game, and it was there for the taking. But all right, so you mentioned Cade, and some of the people in the chat mentioned Cade too. So tonight, Cade finished with 25 points, 10 assists, 10 rebounds. He had a triple-double. 25, 10, 10, triple-double. 4 blocks. He did have 7 turnovers. Got to cut those down, right? But 42 minutes, you get tired. That happens at times, but still can't have 7. 7 is too many. And he had 2 fouls, 42 minutes on 11 for 23 shooting. So he shot pretty well. 0-3 from 3, could not get that 3-ball going. 3-4 for the free throw line. So with Cade, bro, like we talked about it, man. Like one thing that I did like from the leadership aspect is he understood how important this game was.
Yeah,
you could see he understood how important it is. Like
when he almost pushed Ryan Holland into the bleacher in the crowd.
Exactly. You guys, I've never seen him do that before.
Yeah,
like you rarely see him do that with the ops, right? He's usually always got composure, but with a teammate, you don't see that too often, man. But that told me it was something I've said before with Ron. What did I say going to the series? No text, Ron. No free points, Ron. Right? And even though I don't think he got one, but had Cade not done that, he probably would have gotten at least one, and then who knows after that, right? But that just showed me how important this game was to Cade, and he knew how important it was not to go down 3-1. You know what I'm saying? Like it just showed this. He knew, like, no free points, no shenanigans. We're here for a win and a win only. Nothing else extracurricular. So he wasn't trying to have that kind of game. He just wanted to play, a clean game. And I did like that. I did like to see him do that, just to understand the moment.
Yeah, my thing is, and quick on Ron, man. I really appreciate what Ron brings to this team.
Absolutely.
And I love his intensity on defense. But again, just like Ausar, when you have an opportunity to take a shot, take it, because you're going to end up doing something bad. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to be able to stay on the court, that's what you're just going to have to do. Your calling card on the court can't just be to get into scuffle ups. You got to find a way to contribute in the playoffs. Him on defense on the perimeter is like I said, he's number 2 behind Schroder to me. I would like to see the Pistons throw him, at Brunson a little bit and see how that turns out. Because not only that, if he has a guy like Brunson in front of him, he will take advantage and try to attack the basket at times. You know what I'm saying? So as a coach, it's like, as a coaching staff, what are you putting into these guys' ears? Because if I'm an assistant sitting on the Pistons bench, I'm telling Ryan, listen, when you get in this game, attack the basket. You know what I'm saying? You're athletic. Those dudes, they don't want to jump with you at the basket. You are a slasher. Go slash the basket. You know what I'm saying? So, and on defense is just natural. But, hey, we're not coaches.
But I've said before, when it comes to Ron, he seems like the more polished, overall, balanced basketball player than Ausar. And this is not a knock on Ausar. It's just what my eyeballs tell me. He just seems to be more well-rounded, right? I think Ausar has, he has more athletic ability, right? Just he's got otherworldly athletic ability. We see the things, the spin move, and a few games ago, we've seen that. But Ronnie no slouch as an athlete.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And he seems to do a better job of playing defense without fouling.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't see ticky-tack fouls as much with Ron. You see him trying to play, like we always talk about, trying to hit the single and just playing good defense and getting the stop instead of always trying to get the steal and then getting called for the foul in the backcourt. Like things like that. And you mentioned it as far as being aggressive, yes, but even he seems to be more opportunistic than Ausar when it comes to taking shots that are there, right? Yeah. Tonight, Ausar did take the open three. He airballed it. That's why he doesn't like taking the open three, because he's not confident. Ron is usually getting that thing up.
What's our rule, though?
When he catches it. What?
What's the rule? You can't shoot a three. Boom, boom, shot.
Mid-range.
Steps in mid-range. Yeah.
But I don't know if he's had. You're
That's
right.
what I'm saying. They're not
That's
in
the next progression.
You see what I'm saying?
Progression. 100%, bro. That's the next progression. And he's a rookie, so I'm not gonna get too hard on him for that.
No.
But you're right. That's gonna come with time. You guys got to give these guys time. That's one of the progressions for sure. But yeah, I think Ron does, to your point, deserve more opportunity. It's we've seen Ron guard small guards all year. Go ahead.
Right. When you hold the two, and even when Ron is in there, he's moving his feet fluently, and even the crowd notices. You hear the crowd get loud. You know what I'm saying? With these two, with Ausar and Ron, both great defenders, but Ron separates himself. Why? Because he can attack the basket with the ball in his hand without putting it on the floor and dropping it or losing the basketball or fumbling the ball. He can get to the basket and get you an and one. We've seen him do it plenty of times. So to me, he deserves more minutes out there on the floor in this situation. I know you like to tighten up the lineup. A lot of coaches like to do that. Do it when it's necessary. Don't just do it because it's the playoffs.
Yeah.
Your team is unique. Do what your team needs. You know what I'm saying? Let Ron get out there on the floor. I'm not saying take Ausar out completely.
Yeah.
But I don't want him starting. I don't want Ausar starting. Him coming in, getting some significant minutes, fine. But starting, no. You cannot start the game out like that.
And what are playoffs about? Adjustments.
Adjustments.
You can't always plan for everything, right? As much as you want, as much film as you watch, it's going to be things that happen throughout games that you weren't ready for, that are unexpected, and you got to be able to make adjustments. So, that may be one of the ones that I don't know if they will at this point in the season, but I wouldn't be mad if they did.
Yeah.
Just to get a different look. I agree. Ron looks better than Thompson. It's just, again, it just seems like Ron, even at this stage, knows his role better.
Yeah.
And plays that role better.
Yep.
You know what I mean? I think maybe that's because Ausar's ceiling is higher and he has more natural gifts, but he hasn't mastered those yet. So trying to do them is going to result in turnovers. He doesn't, and that's what I mean. He doesn't seem to know what to do all the time because he's got all this raw ability, but it hasn't been concentrated to do this for now.
And a part of it is because of what you said, is what you mentioned in the previous podcast. He missed significant time off. That's why his brother's a little bit ahead of him right now. Yes. You know what I'm saying? As far as decision making and the way that they play. So yeah.
Point. So it's not like we're saying maybe, sit him a little bit of time because he's bad. It's just the situation is what it is. He missed all that time. Like in the playoffs, you can't afford to just wait and wait and wait. You got 4 losses and that's it.
Yeah. Offensively in this series, he just can't give us nothing, man. So you got to do what you got to do to win.
Yep.
In the playoffs. Ain't the regular season.
Right. It's not the regular season. Let's get to Timmy real quick, bro. Tim had 14 points, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 foul, 5 for 16 from the field, 4 13 from 3, or one from free throw line. Thoughts on Timmy?
He got a lot up today. You know, you got to knock down them open ones, but he knocked down some big ones though. And when you got the crowd going, it was Michigan in the Little Caesars Arena today. That was college days right there. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, that's what you went and got him for. You went and got him to knock down some shots in some big moments. You know what I'm saying? So he did that today. Like I said, when you look at the stats, yeah, it's not the greatest percentages, but he knocks down some big shots. He had a whole lot to do with that third quarter run.
Yeah, he did. But once again, he wasn't doing anything that he doesn't normally do.
No, he was
just playing his game.
Do his thing.
Be a star in his role. He has mastered how to do that for this team, right? So the shot is not always gonna. You can't. That's why you can't judge him off of his shooting. Did he play the way he normally plays to the best of his ability? It's gonna be games that are baked into the season that you don't shoot well.
Yep.
Sometimes in the playoffs you don't shoot well. Are you still trying to play your game and impact in other ways? So he's always going to do that. That's why I don't really have any issues with him. 5 for 16 is not good from the field. 4-13 from 3 is not good from the field.
Yeah.
You mentioned, clutch shots and playing your game, not hurting the team with turnovers and shooting your team out of a game and doing all this uncharacteristic stuff. He doesn't do that. He's a veteran. Veterans tonight showed up. And that's why I said it's going 7 originally, because you can't simulate experience. The cream rises to the crop. The veterans rose to the top because they've been there before. Got to count that for series when you look at your young team and guys ain't been there before. We saw it tonight, first half. They showed they hadn't been there before. The halftime was the best thing for them. To settle them down and regroup and get them back into the game. Go ahead.
Yeah. No, I was just responding, reacting to this comment, man. Beasley came back today. Once he knocked that 1-3 down, he came back. He kind of snapped out of it because he was short balling his threes, man. They was hitting the front of the rim every time. You know what I'm saying? Once he knocked that 3 down, he kind of got himself back to where he needs to be. Right. I just wish it was a little bit earlier in this series because those 3-pointers could have saved us in some of these close games. You see what I'm saying? So
had he got down shots, we could be 2-2 easily, maybe 3-1. But yeah, you're right. First half, he did not shoot well. It was 2 or 3 offensive rebounds, and he was getting it back for another 1 or 2 threes, and he just could not throw it in the ocean. And shout out to Hunter Patterson, beat writer. He actually tweeted when Brunson went down, and even before that time when the Pistons were starting to make their run, he said this would be a good time for Bees to get hot. And right after that, he started getting off. So shout out to him.
Man.
Yeah, that was a great call. Great call.
Yeah.
So
once his confidence is, man, the fire. You see it on my screen over there. The fire. That's what he needs.
It just takes one. With him, he just needs one.
One shot, man.
One free throw. Just see the net move. You see the net move, and you're good. And that's the kind of player he was. So yeah, you're right. Second half, he really pulled it together. Let's go to we talked about Ausar at length already. No need to rehash that. Let's get to Jalen Duran. So Jalen Duran only has 6 points tonight, but he has 17 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 blocks. He did have 3 turnovers, 3-5 in the field. So I have a lot to say about this, and this it's positive, despite the lack of scoring. But I'm gonna let you go first. What are your thoughts on JD tonight?
I have a mixed bag.
Holla at me.
I'm a little tough, but it is what it is. Rebounding, just being a big body out there. I compliment it. He did a hell of a job out there. His presence was felt to an extent. Where I needed his presence felt was on the offensive side of the ball.
Okay.
Why won't you go after Cat, bro?
Okay.
You're the strongest dude in the league, damn near. You won't post this dude up to save your life. Why? Your pick and roll is not working. You can't just be out there to catch alley-oops, bro. I've seen you overpower dudes rise up and damn near break the basketball rim before. Try it. You know why? The reason why I say that is the same reason I say about Cat all the time. Cat will foul you.
Yeah.
He's going to foul you. Either he's going to block your shot, you're going to dunk in his face, or he's going to foul you. One of the 3. How about try it? Because when Stu is out there, he's defending him. But if you give Stu the ball in the post, he's going to try to get a hook over Cat. You got to be aggressive too. Yes, I need more aggression on offense. And it's not just Duran, it's the coaching staff, bigger
That's where I was
staff.
going.
You got to give him the opportunity to post up down there and
That's
go at Cat. The way you rattle Cat is to go and attack him. And that's why we had the third quarter because Tobias kept drawing and ones because he was attacking Cat.
Right.
You have to go at him.
Right. So we talked about guys playing to their role, right? Like THJ playing to his role. He's been that way all year long. The second half of the season, we saw JD becoming the guy we're going to need for the rest of his career here, right? However long he's here. Hopefully it's a long time. That guy that we talked about wanting to see wasn't a post-up player. I gotta be fair. It wasn't that guy. So I wonder if the coaching staff for him is, as far as that role for what we need for right now, doesn't include that. Doesn't include him getting touches. To your like, I agree with the fact we got to get Cat in foul trouble because we talk about all the time. Andre Drummond used to punish him. Andre Drummond was not known to be a post player, but when he saw barbecue chicken, he would go. He'd be licking his chops.
Wait till next season when we got Dre and we go up against them.
Speaking into existence, huh?
It's happening this offseason.
I like it. But yeah, I hear you. I definitely hear you. Especially with him having 4 fouls early in this game.
Yeah.
Just throw him a bone. Throw him a bone down there. Just see what he can do. See if he can get it 1 bucket. If he gets 1, let him go. You know what I'm saying? Let him go.
If Cade can embarrass him, you can too.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that take. Defensively, though, I really want to stay on that end, but taking nothing away from what you said. But I just want to give him the credit for the defense because we've seen a lot this season when he doesn't get the ball, he's not giving the effort defensively. So I just want to give him credit for, even though he only got 5 shots, he still has 17 boards.
Yeah, he was a tool man.
Yes, he still had 2 blocks. He was playing perimeter defense on Cat all the way to the hoop. Smacking the shot off the glass, like moving his feet. That's one thing that's been maligned with him is his foot speed. Can he keep up the way that Stu can? It seems like at times he's kind of stuck in the mud, but other times I'm like, where was that at? Where's that been? You know what I'm saying? So he's showing me that he can. I think twice in this game he was out on the island. Well, not the island because he was guarding Cat. He was out there with Cat. Moved his feet. Cat tried to go to the basket each time because JD was smartly not letting him just walk into a 3, right? That's good. So when that would happen, you would see Cat try to take him to the hoop. JD would step for step with him. Cat try to lay it up, smack off the glass twice. So he wasn't much of an offensive threat, but I just love, despite that, he wasn't dropping his head, jogging back down the court, not grabbing a rebound. Like he was a menace on that glass. So I just want to give him credit for that because we have not seen that all year. We have not seen that maturity of, I'm going to go hard on this end, regardless of what's going on down there. You know what I'm saying? So I got to give him that. But, if you got Cat with 4 fouls early in the third quarter and he's waving this coach off, talking about leave me in, I'm going at him. I'm going to coach. Hey, let me get one. Let me get a couple. See what I can do.
It's it's what they be talking about when you see, dudes on TV, and a lot of fans get mad about it, but guys like Shaq and them, and when they mention this type of stuff, they're right, bro.
Yeah.
When you see barbecue chicken in front of you, man, you got to do your thing, bro.
Yeah.
You got 4 fouls. Oh yeah, you about to have to foul me.
Right.
I'm about to try to put my foot in the rim. You don't have to stop me. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, the coaching staff needs to be, in his ear. You know what I'm saying? The coaching staff say, hey, I want you to go post him up.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Well, we can't keep just doing the same thing, bro. Yeah. It's not working. We got to go at them. And like I said, we said from before we started this series, the very thing we have to do with the Knicks is be physical.
Right.
And if you're not going at them on the offensive end, that's not physical.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? You have to bully them.
Yeah.
That's the way it works. You can't just allow them to keep doubling Cade all the game and you ain't going at them. Go at them.
Yeah, you're right. Physicality.
How many times we seen somebody just literally going at Bronson?
Yeah, other than Schroder, you really don't see it a lot. Yeah. No, you got a point, bro. MB Well says this was a appreciate you, bro. This was a devastating loss. One telling moment in the game was when Ausar made a critical turnover and seeing Chris Webber's disappointing facial expression. I saw that because C. Webber sitting right behind the rim. And Thompson, he went like he errant pass, went like this, They show him, and right behind him, you see Christopher like this. He looks up the screen and try to play it off.
Yeah.
But you can see he was annoyed. Like, come on, bro. Come on,
I mean,
man.
shit,
Great
you
call,
gotta,
MB. Great call. Go ahead.
we fans, but you think him? I even seen them put the camera on Ben Wallace and Chauncey. Them, you can tell what they over there talking about.
Yeah.
This team is not better than you.
Yeah.
That's how they should be reacting.
Yep.
They're not better than you, bro.
Yep.
It's like, where's the toughness and the effort at? I can guarantee you they was over there talking about that at certain points of the game, especially in the first half.
I can guarantee you they was talking about Cat and how and what they would do if they were playing against him.
Man,
you know
it's soft little butt, right? Like, come on, bro.
Ben probably skin crawling, bro. Like, man, if I was out there defending this dude, he would be locked up.
He ain't getting the ball.
He ain't getting the ball. Right. He ain't getting the ball.
He ain't
You
getting
gonna
the
offensive
ball.
foul me trying to get the ball. Right. 100%, bro. No, you're right. You're 100% correct on that one, bro. Ah, man, I wish they was mic'd up tonight. That'd have been nice to hear. It probably wouldn't be good for digital airwaves, but it would have been nice to hear some of this talking about. But yeah, MB I saw that same thing, bro. And you could just see like the distress on his face, like, not now, not right now. Come on, man. This is crunch time. This is big game situations with possessions, meaning everything. You can't not get a shot on goal.
Yeah.
You can't not get it. You got to at least get a shot. I don't care if it's an air ball. Get a shot up. Make them play defense at least. For you to just turn it over without them having to even play defense to force a turnover, but you can't do that. End of the game. So yeah, it can't happen. But once again, that's why experience is so important, guys. Hopefully y'all understand what I'm saying. I was seeing Pistons in 5. Huh? Even 6. I mean, I understand 6 more, but 5, no. I thought this was gonna go to distance because of games like this. You can't simulate the experience piece, bro. You just can't. I don't care how good or bad you are. You gotta go through it. That's why you have vets tonight who aren't pound for pound as good as some of the young guys, outplaying the young guys because they've been there before. That means a lot. So let's go to the bench, bro. Excuse me. I saved this guy for last, and I'm gonna skip over him. My fault, y'all. My player of the game for the Pistons tonight, Tobias Crumble Cookie Harris.
Got them going, didn't he?
Crumble Cookie Harris, man. Philly fans, how y'all feeling, bro? How y'all feeling, man? We are here for y'all. Not really, but we here for y'all. We're here to talk to y'all about Tobias Harris, man. Tobias Harris has wiped away all those memories from last season. He hit last game of the season for the Sixers in the playoffs. He didn't score, right? We all know about all that. We know that was maligned. We know he had the issues with the fans, the crumble cookie, all that mess. Tonight, he was the best player for the Pistons. Best player. I know Cade had the 25, 10, and 10. He was a steadying factor. But in the moment, when we needed somebody to pull us up out of the water, he was the guy to do it. Yeah, Devon, 7 Mile here. Yeah, he was a dog tonight. I need more of this. It's so sad this happened in the loss, man. Sheesh. But yeah, he uplifted. He put this team on his back, like from a scoreboard standpoint and from a morale and confidence standpoint, because he doesn't usually get very animated.
Right.
So when he does, it means something. He's not just crying wolf like on every other play to where you see it. Oh, it's just Tobias and again. Like, no, Uncle T getting kind of turned up over there. It's a little bit different. So to see him do that, you can see he was trying to inspire this team to get a win, signaling to the crowd, like, let's go. Come on, get into the game. Help us.
And in this situation, he's the leader of your team.
Yes.
In this situation, he's the leader of your team.
Yes.
Because he's the one in the locker room that's telling you, hey, man, in this situation, we do this. In this situation, we do that. In this type of game, we do this. Let's go get some suits and get ready for the playoffs.
Right.
He's the leader of the team when it comes to the postseason. That's what he was brought here for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's crazy. Like, this game could have got away if not for him. Pistons were down 12 and it was looking like it was about to be more. But he made a handful of plays, man, just to stop their momentum. The way he was playing defense on Cat, swiping at the ball and not missing, not smacking, but just hitting the ball. You see the ball go straight down, which means he's not fouling him. If the ball go up in the air, That's how you know it's a foul. But he's smacking straight down and hitting the ball. He's done it all year. But even more so in the playoffs, undersized right now, admirable job as far as guarding. I still think we got to upgrade that spot because you can't teach size, right? We talked about that.
Right.
But I got to give him credit for what he did with what he's working with.
Imagine if Tobias was playing his true position on this team at 3.
If he was a 3. Right. Okay. Yeah. Exactly. And you had a Nas Reed playing a 4.
I don't know if you remember a couple of shows back when we was talking about the lineups going to the playoffs. And that's why I had added, because we was like, off the bench, we don't have enough right now. And I was like, in a magical world, I would like to have Stu next to Duran and Tobias playing his true position.
Yeah.
That's different because now it's 5-on-5 basketball. It's not 4-on-5. You know what I'm saying? Now you got problems to deal with. You got Tobias to deal with. You got Stu to deal with.
Yeah, it's twofold. You don't have anybody mismatched size-wise. You know what I'm saying? And you have guys out there who can at least be a threat offensively. So it kills 2 birds with 1 stone. That's why we always talk about it. That's why we always talk about the importance of guys playing their position. And Tobias is not really a true 4. He's the best option we have right now, but he's not a true 4. So when you got, JD having to guard Josh Hart because Cat has at times proven to be too quick for him, wasn't the case tonight, but we have that, and now that means Tobias has to guard Cat. Cat is just a bigger guy. He's just a bigger guy. And the domino effect, we talked about this, King, the domino effect of that is when you got Cat trying to post Tobias and just using his size, which he did at times. He was able to get into the paint just because he's bigger, turn, your left shoulder, right shoulder, and now you got to help. Now you got JD trying to come over and help. And this happened over and over again, in the first half. Mm-hmm. So when JD comes over to help, who's helping the helper? Who's making sure that if Cat misses, Josh Hart is not getting an offensive rebound? That's why the Knicks kept getting so many offensive boards. They weren't crashing the glass collectively. The Knicks were, right? Whenever Josh Hart would see JD slide over to help, he's darting to the hoop. Offensive rebound, put back dunk. You got to help the helper. You got to help JD. JD is giving help to Tobias. Who's helping JD? You got to help the helper. That's called playing defense on the string, right? The Pistons weren't doing that, and the Knicks were. That's why you had 3 offensive boards, which culminated in the 3-pointer.
Yeah,
you gotta make those adjustments, man. And the Pistons weren't doing it, but it starts with Tobias just not being big enough. That's what it comes back to that. If he's big enough, you can stay home. JD ain't got to come help. Ain't got to help no helper because JD's staying home. You see what I'm saying? Like,
so 6'8", 6'9" against a 7-footer.
Yeah, yeah, 6. You got to get bigger. So taking nothing away from Tobias because once again, he's my player of the game. Player of the game. Despite that, just the toughness he tried to bring and the effort and the intensity in galvanizing guys. But I think if the Pistons want to get to that next step, they have to get bigger. They just have to. So we'll see.
Right. Shout out to Orlando, man. He's a Knicks fan. Knicks fan here. Not gonna lie. Hart definitely fouled THJ. Hell of a game. Yeah. I appreciate you for coming in and saying that, man.
Yeah.
Hell of a game, hell of a series. You guys are giving us everything that we need in this series to learn from. So yeah, hell of a series, man.
Your stars balled out, man. You know what I'm saying? They made shots.
They showed up when they needed to. Showed up when they needed to, man. And like I said, it is, when you look at the whole situation, they just have to make adjustments. The business have to make adjustments. They got to come out and try something different because what we've been doing over these last couple of games is not working.
Yeah.
So especially defensively, you got to switch some stuff up, coach. That's just what it is, man. You got to make adjustments. So like I said, our backs are fully against the wall. I've seen the Pistons. They're a different team in these type of situations, but in the playoffs, it's a little bit tougher.
Right.
So we win next game. A lot of things can change real fast if we win next game.
Yeah.
But if we don't win next game, you got a lot of learning experience with these games versus the Knicks, and the adjustments will be made not only to the roster but to the mindset of the team. To come back even stronger next year.
And let's not lose perspective. We're in this series. Most of the series, up to this point, we played without Stu.
Yeah.
And we played all of it without Jaden. And we won 14 games last year. Like, let's not lose perspective of where we are. even if we don't win this series, even if we lose in 5, we're still not that far off. We're not that far off from where we want to be. We just need experience and a few pieces to be added for us to take the next step. So house money for me right now. This is house money. Of course, I'm not content and happy with the Pistons losing in 5 to anybody, losing in 6 or even 7 to anybody. Right? I want to see them advance as far as possible. That's why I said I want to avoid the Pacers. Right? I said all that. So, but if it happens, no reason to panic. This is a process. It's a building block. Nobody expected the Pistons to win 42 games this year. So there's no reason to expect them to win a bunch of playoff series this year. We got to keep it in perspective. You have to. Yeah. So let's get to a couple bench guys, bro, and then we'll get out of here. Talked about Bees, right? So tonight, Bees, 13 points, 5 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 5 for 12 from the field, 3 of 9 from 3, 26 minutes. Like you mentioned it, he was cold, frigid cold in the first half, bro. Like Victor Freeze, he just couldn't do anything, bro. Like he just couldn't put in the hoop. Second half, he got it going. He looked more like Bees. Thoughts?
Yeah. The very first really, really good shot that he took from 3-point line, he made. And the reason why I say that, he wasn't just running down, chucking it, or coming off a screen trying to hurry up and shoot it. When he got to put his feet together and knock that shot down, he snapped himself out of that funk instantly. So, like I said, man, if we get this Bees in New York, that's going to help us out a lot. You know what I'm saying? If we still have not had the game where the Pistons were hitting on all cylinders yet. You know what I'm saying? Or at least where both of our shooters and THJ and Beasley had a decent game. It's either one or the other most of the time. So, like I said, we can go and put a game together in New York because obviously we're not afraid of the crowd over there. Then that changes things. It gives the Pistons a good chance to try to go and take another one in New York and come back home.
Right.
So it's one game at a time. That's where we at. You know, Beasley, he's a big piece in what we do. And we got to have him knock down shots.
Yeah. Yeah. So really quickly, Schroder, 6 points, 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, 2 of 4 from the field, 2 of 2 from the free throw line in 27 minutes. And you mentioned the defense. And I'm starting to see more and more of why you want to go with that look, just because of having guys who can get it done on both sides of the ball, right? Like you mentioned it, and I think you're right. He's played the best defense, even though he's not as big, right? Brunson is they call him Big Body Brunson for a reason. He's a thick pause. He's a husky guard. He's deceptively quick because of how wide he is. But aside from that, Schroder's just pesky. He's pesky. He's savvy. He understands what's a foul in this league and what's not a foul and what he can get away with. He can toe the line very, very well. So he was effective, man. He was effective. He didn't stop him. He's not going to stop him, but he made plays that got the Pistons back into this game.
The biggest word for Schroder is, and even the announcer mentioned it, something that he's always been on, even on other teams as a starter, as a 6 man. He's put up some numbers. The biggest word for him is confidence.
Yeah.
He's extremely confident. I don't care what the situation is. I don't care who's in front of him.
Right.
He's extremely confident. So him and Cade, like I said, if you can start them together and stagger them, you know what I'm saying? Because you only got to do it in the second quarter and in the fourth, So like I said, if you can put them together and stagger them, I think you get off to better starts in basketball games because it don't start. Right. The game doesn't start with Cade being double team off rip. You know what I'm saying? You got another primary ball handler that they have to pay attention to because obviously he's been one of our best shooters in this series, even though he doesn't take the volume of shots of everybody else. So it changes things. So like I said, we have to make adjustments. If we don't make adjustments next game, man, it's going to be a tough time. It's going to be a tough time.
Yeah. Organic says, without Stu and Ivy, we're just not good enough yet. Yeah. Yeah.
We were good enough to win tonight. I can't really even say that. We were good enough to win tonight.
Series.
Yeah, like
series. Go ahead.
Yeah, we were good enough to win tonight. We were good enough to win the last game. The Pistons have beaten themselves. We are good enough without them, but we have to stop turning the ball over. We can't go a first half with all those turnovers. Yep. So I get what you're saying, but we're good enough to beat them. We just have to stop beating ourselves.
And that's the experience piece once again. Yep. So yeah, I agree. Let's go to DG. What's going on, man? DG says ref reports are the biggest slap in the face in sports. Good game, I guess. Now we have to do the improbable. F it, Pistons in 7. So now you're coming on my side of the fence, DG. 7. Yes, 7. Yeah, I it's still possible. If they're able to get, I'm gonna go out on a limb. Whoever wins the next game wins the series. That's where I'm at. Obviously, if the Knicks win the next game, they win the series. Pistons win this next game. They win game 5. And they can come and they can get back here. I'm resting Stu next game. Give him 2 more days. Let's make, like, for me, it's like, prove to me that you can, like, this is a great time to see what the Pistons are made of. This is what the playoffs are all about. What are you going to do with your back against the wall? They have their back against the wall now. They've beaten this team without Isaiah Stewart already. On the road. Do it again. Don't make this the all hail Stu. We need Stu thing. No. You already won this game without him. This is a team game. Do it again. You put yourself in this hole. Now start getting yourself out of it. And then we'll talk about, let's bring Stu back at home for game 6, which I think we would indeed win if we won game 5. Go back home, go back on the road to game 7, and it's a 1-game series.
Yeah, like I said, it's
all pressure on them. Go ahead.
You have to look at this series, because it's different things. You know what I'm saying? You had a game where Tobias got in foul trouble. He couldn't get a shot. You know what I'm saying? Beasley was cold, but you still had a chance in that game. You know what I'm saying? Then you look at this game today. You were a referee whistle away from winning this game after having a horrible first half. You come out and play clean basketball. I don't care if you got Stu, Ivy, or whoever else. You play a clean basketball game, a sensible basketball game.
Yeah.
You can beat the Knicks because they're not equipped enough to withstand that. Whether Cat and Brunson both get 30, that's still not enough to win a basketball game.
Right.
You still can win a basketball game without Stu.
Yeah.
You have to clean up what you're doing.
Yeah.
Stop turning the ball over, period.
Yeah. Last game, 4 Knicks scored 20 points. You're not going to win that way. You know what I'm saying? And there was a great point made here by VLock85. We have melted down every fourth quarter of this series. That is what's ticking me off. Yeah, even in our win, we allowed it to get way too interesting. Right? First game, we were up 8 in the 4th. Tonight, we were up 10 in the 4th. You know what I'm saying? Every game, they have not shown up the way they need to in those clutch situations. Which, once again, guys, I hate to beat a dead horse, but that comes to experience. It all comes back to experience. And they have to make sure they don't do this. This is a great learning experience. Because experienced teams don't do this. Playoff tested teams, you will never say V-Lock about a playoff tested team that they melted down every fourth quarter in the series. It don't happen. They probably have in previous years when they were young and had the, wet behind the ears, had been there before, green. But with a young team, this is what happens. We saw the vets, but if you notice, the vets didn't melt down. Right? Beasley didn't shoot well, but aside from him, THJ played well, Tobias played well, Schroder played well. All those 3 guys were very pivotal in us getting back into the game. So that wasn't the issue. It's the young guys who haven't been here before. And that's what you got to look at. That's why I'm not panicking if they lose, because they have to go through this. We all talk about this game. You got to go through it to get through it. That's what it is. So we'll see. We can leave it there, man. We got, Ron Holland, he played solid defense. He didn't really play. He played 6 minutes. Paul Reed, 8 minutes, 2 points, 4 boards. He played okay. He had a block. I do feel like a lot of the offensive rebounds that the Knicks were getting were when he was on the floor. It was when he was on the floor. So, he didn't play a lot, but I'm just noticing Stu not being available is starting to really show its ugly head. So we'll see what happens next game. We'll see if the Pistons are able to get Isaiah Stewart back for next game. But let's not just rely on Isaiah Stewart to go get us a win. We have to get this win collectively, guys. I wouldn't be mad if he didn't play next game. I wouldn't, because the Pistons dug themselves into this hole for reasons aside from that. So we'll see. We'll see what happens, man. The Pistons play their next game Tuesday in New York. I'm not sure if this has been updated yet as far as the time, but once we have that, we will let you guys know, and we will be here for that game, and we will see how that goes. Anything else you got, King?
Yeah, real quick, man. I just want to play a little clip for you guys, man. I took a trip down to Culture Detroit.
Yes, sir.
And that's where we've been getting the t-shirts and the hats and everything else, man. So
Shout out.
shoot this clip real quick. Griswold 1228 Griswold in Detroit at Culture Detroit, man. Came down here to get fresh and fitted for y'all. We got the t-shirts, man, in the window. I've been trying to show y'all, you know, pretty much what it's like down here. Like I said, we got 2 locations here on Griswold, one on Living Noise. I have all of that information for y'all in the description if y'all want to stop by and grab y'all some sweet gear. Let's take a look inside. So there y'all have it, man. Make sure y'all come stop down here, 1228 Griswold, right here in the heart of the city, downtown Detroit. Man, we got something special going on here. Black-owned shoe store, culture store, gear, snacks, whatever you need, they got it, man. Make sure y'all stop by and get fresh like your boy King. We out.
Yes, sir. Culture Detroit, man.
Shout out to Culture Detroit.
Shout out to this, to the home team for sure. Yeah, man. This is tough, man. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens, man. We can leave it there, man. I just wanted to definitely make sure we keep this game in perspective and see what happens. Just take it one game at a time. Win or lose, it's been a great season. I'm not conceding the white flag yet. I'm just saying, let's keep it in perspective. So we'll go from there, guys. So we'll see you guys Tuesday night. We appreciate you guys, as always, showing up and showing out and showing love and support. We really appreciate that. So with that, we will see you guys on Tuesday night. And until then, y'all know the deal. Detroit versus everybody.
And when you knock me down, I'm getting back up. Cause when I step on the floor, you know your time's up. I'm on my way up and I'm not gonna stop. We headed straight to the top in the know. I gotta face it. I got no time to waste it. It's my time now.